All right, the AI bubble isn't just leaking air, it's showing signs of a full-on rupture. Microsoft is canceling billions in data center leases, Alibaba's chairman warning about a data center bubble, and OpenAI is on track to lose $5 billion this year. So after watching tech cycles for 25 years, I've spotted the key signals that AI hype machine is running out of road. So today I'm going to break down exactly why Silicon Valley's AI reckoning is inevitable and what it means for the future of tech. Why this hype can't possibly last forever, and the amount of money going into it is insane. Let's dive in. Welcome to Startup Hack. I'm Spencer Thompson. Here at Startup Hack, we love to train software developers in our licensed coding boot camps, as well as build custom software solutions for companies. With a decade of executive leadership as a fractional CTO and 25 years in software development, I've mastered transforming tech teams and products. All right, so Microsoft has abandoned data center projects that were set up to use 2 gigawatts of electricity in the US and in Europe, right? These aren't just minor adjustments. They're canceling entire facilities that have been planned for months. Let's switch over and take a look at some of these articles here. We'll jump to that one here in a second. So Microsoft says it's slowing or pausing some AI data center projects, including a $1 billion plan for Ohio. So, and this is the latest sign that demand for artificial intelligence that drove massive infrastructure expansion might not need quite that big, and that they're slowing down. So in recent years, demand for our cloud and AI services grew more than we could have ever anticipated. To meet this opportunity, we began executing the largest and most ambitious infrastructure scaling projects in our history. However, they said any significant new endeavor at this size and scale requires agility and refinement. So what they didn't say Wednesday, that other projects have slowed outside of Ohio, but in late December it was revealed there was pausing later phases in larger development centers in Wisconsin as well. They've also paused some of them in Europe as well. There's actually 6 globally that Microsoft has paused around the world, and this is some of the stuff we're starting to see. They're canceling these facilities because Microsoft isn't just slowing down, they're actually starting to pull back from additional training and workloads from OpenAI. We're starting to see a fracture between these two companies that was once a totally solid partnership. Now, when a company happily announces plans to invest $80 billion in January, then starts canceling projects by March, something has fundamentally changed in their assessment of the future demand. So my 25 years in tech has taught me that the biggest players sudden reversal on a huge capital investment like this is a warning sign. Now, I'm not saying that like everything's going away. Don't worry. I'm definitely not a big fan of FUD here. So I want to talk about this one a little bit. Alibaba head warns that AI industry is showing signs of a bubble. I'm still astounded by the type of numbers that's being thrown around in the United States about investing in AI, right? And so he's one of these that's really saying, despite having committed more than $52 billion on AI development over the next 3 years, the Chinese tech giant Alibaba chairman is now warning of a potential bubble starting to form in the AI data center constructions, right? So and this is, again, just many of these different announcements that we're starting to see. When you see big money that's starting to pull away from an investment like this, it's time to take a sign. Now, again, I'm not saying, oh, AI is crap, it's never going to amount to anything. Quite the opposite. I think that we've got these big models that have been generated and they've thrown a ton of money at it. If you want my take on the history, here's what happened. Starting in the late teens, right, 2015, we saw a ramp up of crypto, right? We saw crypto start to run up. And what this did is it got the industry to get money behind putting money into these huge graphics cards, right? The huge graphics cards that powered crypto and the Web 3.0 up into the early 2020s. We saw a lot of movement still going with powering these huge GPU developments, right? So this was originally for crypto, and there was a lot of play to try to build the big crypto to try to get more and more Bitcoin and other crypto mining. Now, what happened is this also gave companies like NVIDIA the incentive to actually invest into driver technology. So we saw was a huge influx in GPU development, the actual hardware. We saw a huge influx in software with the CUDA development. And then we saw lots of Linux support. NVIDIA, Linus Torvalds has been very vocal that he said that he loves that all these things brought attention because now they're getting a lot of driver support from NVIDIA. And so what happened was then this is actually what funneled and gave the power that was necessary for us to have AI of today. This is what drives these LLMs. So now everybody who moved off of the crypto bandwagon and the Web 3.0 bandwagon, which was a huge place that developers, the largest place that investors, were putting their money in 2018 through 2022. Now they've all shifted and they're dumping into AI as fast as they can. Now we see this run up over the last 2 years to see that this rush to AGI. These investors, they drive so much off of FOMO. They do not want to miss out on if somebody came into AGI. But now over the last 12 months, as we've started to realize AGI isn't really going to be a thing, which is kind of what us developers have been yelling the whole time. This realization has gotten them to suddenly start pulling back. But now the beautiful thing is for those of us who want to build on top of these great technology that has come out of this last decade worth of crazy money that's been put in from from crypto to Web 3.0, now to AI. What we now have today is some really powerful LLMs, some really powerful GPUs that the lay person can get started on. So I have a whole playlist, and make sure you go and hit it up. I'll link it down below. We have a whole playlist here on our channel about how you, for $500, can build out an AI server that your business can run against. And I give you free code samples for how to start to build AI agents against that. So now that we start to see this bubble burst, we're seeing that people are actually starting to shift and pick up the pieces and find, hey, there really is use in these LLMs. So we're seeing them start to go to good uses. So I'm really excited by this. So again, I'm not saying that AI is like dead and going away. Quite the opposite. Now, OpenAI is reportedly on track to lose $5 billion in 2025. That's an astounding burn rate for a company that's supposed to be the vanguard of the profitable new industry. So despite raising billions and generating substantial revenue, the fundamental economics of training and running these massive AI models remains deeply challenged. That's why we're starting to see AI or OpenAI shift towards AI agents, because these are things that make it more economical and for them to be able to recoup some of this dollars. So when you see somebody like OpenAI spend billions of dollars on training a model, but they can't find a sustainable way to monetize it, you're not running a business, you're conducting an extremely expensive research project. And that's what OpenAI has become. So they're starting to shift away and trying to find revenue models for how to drive this. So after 25 years of watching tech cycles, it's taught me that true revolutions eventually need to make economic sense, not just technological sense. So no amount of venture capital or corporate investment can indefinitely sustain businesses that can't generate return. Now, again, as I talked about before, there's this FOMO factor. The primary driver of massive AI investments hasn't been rational calculations of return, but fear of missing out on the next big thing. Large investors keep dumping money into AI companies because they don't want to be the ones left out if somebody actually builds AGI. This created a perfect storm of hype where questioning the economic fundamentals made you look like you just didn't get it, silencing necessary skepticism. So I've witnessed this exact pattern in previous tech cycles when investment decisions were driven by fear rather than fundamentals. The reality is that many of these investments have been made with little regard to how the technology will actually generate a sustainable return. So I can tell you with confidence that this FOMO is the least reliable foundation for a business model. Now, if your company has systems that aren't connected, reach out to us, because here at Startup Hack, our specialty is helping you connect systems and to build out AI agents for your company to start getting awesome systems working together. Check out startuphack.com/Spencer. Now, Microsoft's relationship with OpenAI has been visibly deteriorating, with reports from a lot of different sources that they're revealing that they're developing their own competing AI models. So according to other sources, Microsoft is even testing models from competitors like xAI, Meta, and DeepSeek as potential replacements for OpenAI's technology in their Copilot product. Now, the strategic pivot wouldn't have even been thinkable a year ago. So Microsoft was pouring billions of dollars into OpenAI by supporting their infrastructure reform. The change that Microsoft is pulling back from these data centers is a signal that Microsoft may be questioning whether its massive bet on OpenAI will deliver the returns they initially expected. Satya Nadella is no dummy. He's got to be able to prove a return on this amount, or else the stockholders are going to start to question this. So So this typically happens when economic reality fails to match the initial optimistic projections. Now, instead of pursuing artificial general intelligence, companies are increasingly focused on building specialized AI agents for specific, profitable use cases. Even OpenAI's pivot towards AI agents rather than just pushing more powerful general models reflects the recognition of the economic realities as well as the limitations they're hitting on their large models. This transition has happened in every technological revolution I've seen, from general excitement to specific practical implementations. The companies will survive will be those that create solutions to real problems, not those chasing the most impressive benchmark scores. And we're starting to see those benchmark scores slow down. So I talked a lot about the crypto connection here, right? What many people miss is the entire AI boom was enabled by crypto's impact on GPU development between 2018 and 2023. Crypto mining drove NVIDIA to develop more powerful GPUs and better drivers, creating the hardware foundation that made modern AI training possible. The 5 years of CUDA development done to support crypto mining created the technical infrastructure that later enabled AI to flourish. So understanding these connections gives us insight into what might drive us to the next wave of the current AI hype. So look at some of these underlying things. These hidden dependencies between seemingly unrelated trends have often been the most revealing. So there's a lot of different things out there. And what we're seeing is we're now seeing that because we have these big models, we're starting to see these little models start to crop up. This matches many AI researchers are privately acknowledging that despite benchmark improvements, real world usefulness isn't scaling proportionally with the cost that we're spending on AI. So there's a tension between theoretical capabilities and practical value and how it's going to make money. So now if your company has also some theoretical mismatches here, reach out to us here at Startup Hack. Our specialty is connecting systems. Also, if you want to actually get some of your software developers trained, we can help you train through government grants to get some of your employees trained to become software developers while they're on the job. Those are our favorite ones. So check out startuphack.com for our coding bootcamp and startuphack.com/Spencer for our consulting services. Now, we're already seeing investments shift away from generative AI capabilities towards specific applications with clear paths to revenue. The market is quickly learning that AI is valuable as a component of a solution, not the solution itself. This doesn't mean AI isn't transformative. It means that the transformation will happen through revolution, not through a total takeover, right? Over evolution, not revolution, right? So companies will understand that this shift will survive will come, and they'll make corrections to start generating these AI agents. Now, despite immediate challenges, AI will continue to transform how we build software and how we run businesses, just not the way or the time frame that the hype originally was suggesting. Companies will increasingly focus on leveraging AI to enhance human capabilities rather than replace them. This is a more sustainable vision and aligns with historical patterns of how transformative technologies actually create lasting values. So some of the warning signs was the pattern of AI startups spending billions with no clear path to profitability. I spotted this right away. There's a lot of different reports that were showing that we're running towards an extinction phase where LLM providers are starting to run out of money because they've spent so much money to train these huge models that didn't come back with an economic difference between some of their middle and lower end models. So companies that survive will be those that have been quietly building sustainable business models, while others are more focused on headline-grabbing capabilities. So the path forward is that the coming AI market is going to correct, and it doesn't mean that AI isn't valuable. It just means that its value will be realized through different paths than many currently expect. Companies building practical AI applications with a clear ROI will thrive even as the general hype cycle collapses. Developers who understand both the capabilities and limitations of AI will be increasingly valuable as organizations seek to implement AI in ways that actually deliver value. I tell my developers all the time, AI is not going to replace you, but a developer who knows how to use AI might. So the next wave of AI development will focus on efficiency and integration rather than on raw capabilities. Now, my 25 years in software development has taught me that the most lasting technologies are those that become invisible infrastructures rather than attention-grabbing novelties. The true AI revolution will happen gradually through thousands of practical applications, not through a single dramatic breakthrough to AGI. Now, if your company has systems that aren't connected, reach out to us, because here at Startup Hack, our specialty is connecting systems and helping you build AI agents into your working workflows. Check out startuphack.com/Spencer because we'd love to help you out. Now, what are your thoughts? The biggest compliment you can give me is to leave a comment down below. I love to get comments. So make sure you like and subscribe and leave us a comment. And here's some information that we can offer you about some of our consulting services.
Hi, my name is Spencer Thomason, and I'm a fractional CTO. With over a decade of executive leadership and a solid 25 years in software development, I've mastered the art of transforming technology teams and products. So what is a fractional CTO? This is where you can contract someone like myself to come into your organization and get the benefits of a seasoned CTO without having to employ me full time. In today's fast-paced world, efficiency, security, and product scaling aren't just goals, they're necessities. My passion is building impactful products and enhancing organizational efficiencies through technology. From startups to small businesses, my approach leverages lean methodologies to not just meet but exceed your strategic goals. Whether it's through executive mentoring, cloud system architecture, or launching a minimum viable product swiftly, my aim is to make a significant impact right from the start. Recognized in the Arizona startup ecosystem, my journey has been about creating value and fostering innovation. I have led technology for companies like GoDaddy, SRP, and Wells Fargo and turned challenges into milestones. I've taken this learning and launched 7 of my own brands, and now I want to help you. So if you're looking for a fractional CTO who brings a wealth of experience, strategic vision, and a proven track record, let's connect. Together we can build technology that not only drives your business forward, but also makes a difference. Technology leadership redefined to fit your needs. So reach out today.